Okay. Greetings. On behalf of the United States Department of Veterans Affairs, National Cemetery Administration, I am Oliver Villalobos, Cemetery Director. I would like to welcome you to Wreaths Across America at Santa Fe National Cemetery. This year, for obvious reasons, we will be conducting Wreaths Across America in a safe manner while observing COVID-19 safety protocols. We wish you and your families a happy and safe holidays on behalf of Santa Fe National Cemetery.
On behalf of Governor Michelle Lujan Grisham, I am Sonia Smith, Cabinet Secretary Designate for the New Mexico Department of Veteran Services. And on behalf of the 154,000 veterans, I am very honored to be part of this year's virtual celebration of the 2020 Wreaths Across America, which normally takes place at the Santa Fe National Cemetery. Unfortunately, the ongoing COVID-19 pandemic has dictated that this year's event be commemorated virtually. Typically, Wreaths Across America is the day every year when grateful Americans throughout the country gather to remember our nation's fallen military veterans during the holidays by laying wreaths at the selected gravesite of veterans at cemeteries all across America. Grateful Americans do this to honor those men and women and their spouses who sacrificed to serve our country, but are no longer here to celebrate the holiday season with loved ones. But although we are not able to gather this year to lay wreaths at the Santa Fe National Cemetery, it does not diminish our remembrance of and gratitude for our departed veterans this holiday season. Today, through our virtual gathering, we will still remember that Americans are able to celebrate the season, to spend time with the family and loved ones because of the service and sacrifice of the men and women who have served in the United States Armed Forces. We will still remember that it is because of this military service that we in America live in a free society. Our freedom has been defended and will continue to be fought for by our military men and women, true heroes for serving our country this way. We will still remember that celebrating the holidays would not be possible without the service and sacrifice of our men and women who served or are currently serving in the United States Armed Forces. We can celebrate because we are free to do so, and we are free because our veterans and active duty service members fought for or are currently fighting to protect this. To all veterans and active duty personnel joining us virtually today, I want to thank you for your military service to our country. To the family members and friends of deceased veterans, I want to thank you for your support of your departed family member or friend when they were serving our country. You made a sacrifice too when they sacrificed to serve us. Today's unique virtual ceremony ensures that the memories of our departed veterans will not be forgotten this year as we all gather to celebrate the holiday season. Thank you for taking a moment to join us in this special virtual ceremony. God bless you all and happy holidays.
Distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, hello, I'm Major General Kenneth Nava. I'm the Adjutant General of the New Mexico National Guard. The coronavirus may have negatively impacted our ability to have a large in-person event, but it has not stopped us from continuing this important work. It is my honor to be here with you today virtually. Every time I have participated or attended a Wreaths Across America event, I've been honored to be amongst other veterans and their families and friends, remembering, honoring, and teaching. To everyone involved in this effort today and the next couple of days, you have my most sincere thanks. One of the most honorable things we do as soldiers is pay our respects to our fallen comrades. In the past couple of decades, I have personally served many times as a casualty notification officer and as a casualty assistance officer. One of my recent projects has been to recognize those soldiers of the New Mexico National Guard that have served in this role over the past year. While this is an incredibly difficult duty, Performing these tasks is one of the most honorable things we do in uniform. Since the time of George Washington, over 40 million men and women have served our nation's military. We honor all veterans, all who have sacrificed in the service of our nation. Today and over the next couple of days, all of us are charged to honor those that serve our nation today. Freedom is not free. It is paid for by our veterans, and we must never forget the sons, daughters, brothers, sisters, mothers, and fathers buried here at the Santa Fe National Cemetery are part of the over 40 million who have served the colors of our nation. The placement of these wreaths today, simultaneously occurring in ceremonies across the nation, provide us a very tangible and visual, impactful reminder of the cost of freedom, and that is the lives of our nation's youth. The Wreaths Across America effort does not strive to remember how these people died, but rather to remember how they lived. On behalf of the 4,000 airmen and soldiers of the New Mexico National Guard that I'm honored to lead, once again, thank you for being here and remembering our fallen U.S. veterans, honoring those who serve our nation today, and teaching our children the value of freedom. Thank you very much.
Is privileged to lay the wreaths that we have fundraised to purchase, and we are well over 250 wreaths. We have multiple Blue Star mothers that are here today that will follow the COVID rules and place the wreaths at the grave sites of our fallen soldiers and of our veterans. And this is such a heartwarming lesson for all of our children to learn. And I hope that in the future, you will join Wreaths Across America and honor our veterans and our fallen soldiers in the future years. Please teach your children about our military and the sacrifices that they make. Thank you.
Star Mothers. I am with the Albuquerque chapter, and we serve members across the whole state of New Mexico. The mission of Wreaths Across America: to remember the fallen, to honor those who serve in their families, and to teach the next generation about patriotism, directly falls within our mission. We try to honor the memory of our sons and daughters, keep them alive by representing them through our efforts of community service with the active military veterans and their families. And several of the New Mexicans who had served in the War on Terror are buried at the Santa Fe National Cemetery. And I just want to tell you about a few of them there so that you have an idea about these were actual human beings, these are individuals, and get to know them a little. To remember these service members, Air Force Staff Sergeant Timothy L. Bowles went to Afghanistan in November of 2008 while serving with the 755th Air Expeditionary Group. On March 15th of 2009, he volunteered to take the spot of a fellow airman who was ill. That day, a roadside bomb killed Bowles and 4 other airmen. He was 24 years old. Army Sergeant Daniel Toulouse was stationed in Iraq in September 2006 when a piece of shrapnel pierced his brain and left him in a vegetative state. The story of his treatment for this traumatic brain injury attracted national media attention as his mother, Mary Toulouse, and other mothers publicly challenged the care that their sons were receiving in the Veterans Administration hospitals, and ultimately winning the right for these injured service members to be treated in private facilities. After more than 2 years, Toulouse succumbed to his brain injury on February 28, 2009, at age 24. And finally, I want to talk about Gold Star parents that are buried there. Bonifacio Lopez is a Gold Star father who had served with the Navy in World War II. He died in May of 2019 at the age of 94 and is laid to rest in this cemetery with his wife, Carmen, who died a year before him at age 93. The family became one of the thousands of MIA families when their son, Marine Private First Class Robert Bobby Charles Lopez, was killed in action in Vietnam on May 10th, 1968. He was an MIA for more than 37 years. His remains were recovered with his comrades September 8th of 1999, but identification was not determined until March 5th, 2005. Bobby was then buried in Arlington National Cemetery with his comrades. There's so much more to learn about the lives of those who are buried here. As you lay a wreath, please say the name out loud and afterwards research that person to appreciate the individual who lived and served his country. While honoring our veterans, please strive to live your life to be an American worth fighting for. Thank you, and thank you for supporting Wreaths Across America.
Revolution to participate in this video salute to our veterans far and wide. My name is Tina McCloy Lusby. I am regent of the local Santa Fe chapter of the National Society Daughters of the American Revolution. We are the Stephen Watts Kearney chapter, founded in 1898, just 8 years after the national organization formed. Patriotism, service to others, education, and historic preservation are our key tenets. We are a service organization and are proud to support and honor our veterans, our active duty military members across the world, and those who have passed on and are at rest in cemeteries or unmarked graves far and wide. We thank you all for your honor, discipline, diligence, courage, and sacrifice. Because of each of you, we in the United States enjoy freedoms that are the envy of the rest of the world. Many of our ancestors, friends, and loved ones sacrificed all so that we maintain those freedoms. May we teach our children about the battles that gave us those freedoms, the continuing struggle to protect those freedoms, and the underlying foundations of this great nation. In closing, I would like to read this poem from a fellow named Shannon Casebeer, who lives in the Upper Ozarks area of Missouri. You can find it on YouTube, and I have Mr. Casebeer's permission to read it to you today. The Reunited States of America. When there's little we agree on and our fellowship is strained, when the nightly news makes tatters of the few bonds that remained, when we just can't seem to get along, although Lord knows we've tried, then remember those who sacrificed, remember those who died. Remember all the gallant souls who fought to keep us free. Remember how they bravely paid the price for liberty. Remember those who risked it all that freedom's bell might ring. Remember those who bravely rose and gambled everything. Take a moment to count the cost our veterans proudly paid. Consider their dedication and the sacrifice they made. Then, if you think it's noble to slander all they've built, then trample on our gallant flag without a shred of guilt. But if you honor sacrifice and those who choose to serve, if you're prepared to join our ranks and show a little nerve, forget your petty grievances and do not be deceived. Our greatest strength is unity. Together, there's nothing we can't achieve. Thank you from the Daughters of the American Revolution.